think you can. All right, so overcapacity in EVs, overcapacity in steel, overcapacity in garment production, decreasing populations, thus population densities are changing. Fewer folks to consume all that overcapacity. Other complications, battery technology in your EVs exploding left and right. Tariffs left and right to keep your EVs out. Increase in the amount of food costs, because in certain places that have high populations and not enough arable land to feed themselves, where they had to import everything. I mean everything. Just to be able to grow whatever they think they can grow, despite droughts and everything else. When you grow in the mountains, you know how hard it is to be able to get water to your crops in the mountains? When you're in normal conditions, folks generally don't care. However, these are not normal conditions. Consequences. Those that fail to plan properly, plan to fail. And folks are failing left and right all across the planet. They've been playing the international banksters' games. They've been living in fairy tales. What's the phrase? Delulu, as I think that's the term that's being used now. And they're paying for it. And they act lost and confused. This is a total sum of the choices they have made. Going along to get along does not provide the answers that they're looking for. For them, it's the easy way out. They know full well if it's too good to be true, it's not. But they go along anyway because they have a lacking of the will to fight. They won't fight for that which is honorable, right, and just. They will fight for that which is easy, which is dishonorable. They will fight for the grotesque. They put 5,000 pounds of makeup on it and they fail to realize it's still a pig. It's still grotesque. The incompetence is vast. They are merely educated as opposed to being learned. So you have to meet them where they're at and get them to decide to level up. Get them to decide to evolve. But it has to be their idea. If you attempt to impose it, their natural instinct is to rebel. They will fight you at every turn. They will have you to be the quote-unquote bad guy. And now you're making them have to shake off their mental sloth. That makes you the worst guy. And your very presence and the work that you do that stands 180 degrees diametrically opposed to where they're at, it's anathema for them. To where you are, they don't want to be. They will attack and try to clown and all type of carrying on, masking as best as they're able that where you're at and what they're doing, and they know it's wrong. They know they're wrong. The sheer will and determination to be on point has been beaten out of them. Mr. Charlie said it has to be this way. International banksters want it this way. And they go along. Mental slavery. If we go along, we eat tonight. If we don't go along, we won't eat tonight, is their thinking. It never occurs to them, the colonizing hostiles, the international banksters, those that maintain the matrix for them, that they're involved in, that they're contracted into, have the same 24 standard Earth hours that they do. What they do with theirs is completely different. So instead of our folks, our kith and kindred, if you would, pulling their heads out of their backside and saying, you know what, all right, let me just level up. What I'm doing is not going to change the results. Let me change up what I'm doing. Let me become learned as opposed to merely educated. Let me figure out a different way forward. Because the colonizing hostiles, the modern global Babylon system from the captains of industry, their method isn't the only one. It may be the one that is in use by the vast majority. However, it is not the only one. Voluntarily choosing to surrender to it when you don't have to? Eventually, some may come to that conclusion and act accordingly. The evidence is overwhelming that most simply won't do it. And so what do? All you can do is just be the example. Keep doing what you're supposed to do. Either they catch up or they don't. If they ask, point. Show them what they're looking to. Look into this. Work on this. However, it is their burden to bear. They must do their own homework. It's not given. It's earned. They must do their own homework and act accordingly. They must engage with those who think, act, and speak the way they're learning to think, act, and speak. And most folks out there do not think, act, or speak as we do. They are analog and we are digital. There is no converter. So what we're doing, they don't grasp or don't like or don't accept. Because our work is to not be encumbered or contracted into the colonizing hostiles and their marionette puppets. We don't play the global Babylon systems game. And we train them, if they choose to be trained, not to do that either. So you have to be patient. Love them where they're at. But do realize, if they decide that they're going to continue to be plugged into the matrix, if they volunteer to do that, respect their choice and stay clear. They made their decision. They're grown. Leave them where they're at.